from Delhi, but I was born in Lahore. I think it's a fantastic idea. That Indians always run away from their history and don't preserve it because I think we seem to just think that we are living in history all the time. But I think it's a wonderful idea to have a museum like this to remind people what a traumatic experience the partition was and how many people shifted their lives, millions died. I think it was the largest migration ever took place in the world. So I think it's a wonderful idea to remind people what happened. I think partition should not have happened. It was something which is quite tragic which has happened to this country. India would have been a much better country with everybody together. It would have been like Europe, undivided. Well, I have no memories of partition myself, but my father and mother, we lived in Lahore, and I've always heard stories about Pakistan, now Pakistan. And they're always good stories in terms of how relationships were so good with their neighbors, with people of the Muslims who they lived with. There was complete amity between them. So it was, I think, quite traumatic for them to move away from all that and come and resettle themselves somewhere else. And my father kept going back to Pakistan. He had lots of friends there. In fact, he went back to Pakistan and got remarried in Pakistan with all his friends after, I don't know, 50 years of marriage. When the leaders who are post-partition leaders, which is what we really have now on both sides of the divide, but unfortunately it hasn't happened. And I think that reminding people about what people went through, that that it's time to make up. And the whole world has changed. Europe is united after bitter wars. So it's a legacy which needs to be overcome. Well, my father was in business there. Well, he worked earlier and then the business. My grandfather was a railway station master, so he was moving around everywhere. And but the family was based in Lahore, and he came back to India and resettled himself here. He had obviously some relatives here, and he got into film financing. I've got memories of some agony and hardships and so forth. I guess we were kind of immunized from it somehow.